1923 confirms a sad fact about the Duttons' last stint to Kevin Costner's Yellowstone era. 1923 confirms a piece of Dutton family history that remains unchanged into John Dutton IE's Kevin Costner Yellowstone era. The second season of Taylor Sheridan's Prohibition-era prequel about the Dutton family has grave and ominous tones. A mountain lion appears on their porch in 1923's Season 2 premiere, heralding the killing season that affects every member of the Dutton family in unique and profound ways. Jack Dutton, Darren Mann, has watched everyone around him struggle as he silently deals with the passing of his father, John I. James Badge Dale, and waits to avenge his death. Jack's wife, Elizabeth Strafford, Michelle Randolph, is also having a hard winter, especially after a rabid wolf bites her leg in 1923 Season 2. Episode 2, causing a series of unfortunate circumstances. Meanwhile, Helen Mirren's Cara Dutton waits for Spencer, Brandon Sklinner, to return, who is fighting his way back to the ranch while thinking about his wife, Alexandra of Sussex, Julia Schlepfer, with every stride. That said, Harrison Ford's Jacob Dutton faces a hurdle that is more removed from the wild nature of the land, although it represents the killing season that Elsa Dutton's narration describes just as well. The end of 1923 Season 1 and 1923 Season 2 confirm a sad fact for the Dutton family. Jacob Dutton lacks the financial resources to maintain ownership of the Yellowstone Ranch, as does likely every generation of the family that succeeds him. We know that John Dutton IE shares his ancestors' financial hurdles. After John's death, the Duttons lose the ranch in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 14, when Case Luke Grimes sells it to the Broken Rock tribe in Yellowstone's series finale. While Case makes just over $1 million selling the ranch to Thomas Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, it's worth much more than that. The Dutton family's greatest asset was their land, not the cash in their bank accounts. In Yellowstone Season 5, John plans to lease land in Texas to feed his herd over the winter. He tells Beth, Kelly Riley, that he needs $1.4 million a month and is taking out a loan to pay the bill. During a heated argument that ensues due to Beth knowing they can't spare the expense, John and his daughter argue back and forth, highlighting that the ranch hardly ever turns a profit. Therefore, Jacob's dilemma regarding the ranch's finances is a lasting debacle. Just like John's kids risked losing the ranch if they couldn't pay the mortgage to cover the Yellowstone Ranch's massive tax bill, Jacob Dutton is at risk of losing the ranch due to his inability to pay its taxes. Donald Whitfield, Timothy Dalton, reveals in 1923 Season 1's finale that Jacob was behind on his property taxes. Donald insidiously paid them, meaning that the deed for the ranch will revert to Whitfield if Dutton doesn't pay his taxes. In 1923 Season 2, Episode 1, Jacob says he got last year's taxes paid, but worries about the next year. Case and Beth losing the ranch because they can't pay the inheritance tax means Jacob's dilemma in 1923 lasts for over a century, proving that the Dutton family shoulders a massive financial burden in maintaining the largest contiguous ranch in the United States. In Yellowstone Season 5's finale, Mo Brings Plenty tells a group of Broken Rock children not to knock over and dishonor the Dutton family's graves because they protected this land. They died for this land. While sometimes they protected it in more militant ways, the Dutton family also maintained the ranch as a business. The difference between John's struggle in Yellowstone and Jacob's struggle in 1923 is that the latter shoulders the financial burden on his own, whereas Kevin Costner's patriarch has Beth to help him navigate the unruly tides of the ranch's finances. Especially in Yellowstone Season 5, Beth looks for ways to make the ranch money. She tells her dad in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 7, that they should package and sell their beef, pleading with her father and assuring him that she can be the one to figure out the repacker that stumps every other rancher from distributing their beef personally. Beth tells her father, "You are a rancher. I am a businessman, and I have spent my entire career making $50, $100 million deals for others. Now I'm gonna make one for you." Beth was probably motivated to study finance after witnessing her father's struggle to keep Yellowstone financially solvent. Sadly, Beth never makes the money she promised before John's death, but she uses her savvy finance skills to liquidate the ranch's assets in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 13, to pay the mortgage. Sadly, Jacob doesn't have his own Beth in 1923 to talk some sense into him and provide solutions. The Dutton family's legacy is built on blood, loss, and an unbreakable connection to the land they call home. From the brutal struggles of 1923 to the modern-day turmoil in Yellowstone, one thing remains heartbreakingly clear. Tragedy is the Duttons' inheritance. When 1923 introduced Jacob and Kara Dutton, it became evident that hardship was a constant in their lives. The Duttons were forced to fight tooth and nail for their ranch, not just against outside forces like greedy businessmen and land barons, but also against the unrelenting challenges of the era: drought, economic devastation, and the scars of war. The conflict between the Duttons and Donald Whitfield, a ruthless land developer, mirrored the struggles that would haunt future generations. Jacob's near-fatal ambush and Kara's fierce determination to hold the family together set a precedent for the resilience and suffering that would define the Dutton bloodline. Perhaps the saddest confirmation 1923 offers is that no amount of grit or sacrifice will ever bring the Duttons peace. The battles of the past are not just echoes. They are the foundation for every hardship John Dutton and his family face in Yellowstone. The cycle of violence and loss established by Jacob Dutton never ends. It simply evolves. Fast forward to Yellowstone, and the ghosts of 1923 still linger over the family. John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner, embodies the weight of a century's worth of pain. He is the modern torchbearer of the same burden Jacob carried, fighting to protect the ranch at all costs. Like his ancestors, John faces threats from land developers, corrupt officials, and those who seek to exploit Montana's untamed beauty. His battles with market equities and outside developers mirror Jacob's war against Whitfield. The Dutton story is cyclical. Each generation fights the same war with new enemies at even greater personal costs. The greatest tragedy, however, lies not just in the external threats, but in the internal losses. 1923 reveals the harsh truth that love and family are never enough to keep the Duttons from suffering. Spencer Dutton, the courageous yet tormented younger brother, fights for his family across oceans, yet fate seems determined to keep him from reuniting with them in time. His struggle parallels that of Case Dutton in Yellowstone, who, despite his efforts to protect his wife and son, cannot escape the Dutton curse of violence and heartbreak. The Dutton men are warriors, but they are also prisoners to the destiny of their name. Even the women of the Dutton family, often seen as the glue holding everything together, are not spared. Kara Dutton's fierce love for Jacob and the ranch is reminiscent of Beth Dutton's fiery devotion to John and their land. Both women endure immense suffering, yet neither bends to the forces seeking to destroy their family. But their strength comes at a price. Kara's life is defined by sacrifice, just as Beth's is scarred by loss and vengeance. Their fates affirm the sad reality. To be a Dutton woman is to bear the weight of grief. John Dutton's struggles in Yellowstone are a direct consequence of the past, proving that no amount of time can erase the Duttons' pain. If 1923 teaches us anything, it's that the family's history is doomed to repeat itself. The land they love so fiercely is both their greatest asset and their ultimate curse. No matter the era, the Duttons will always be at war, with outsiders, with each other, and with fate itself. The saddest confirmation 1923 offers is that the Duttons will never escape tragedy. The ghosts of Jacob and Kara, of Spencer and Alexandra, live on in John, Beth, Case, and Rip. Their suffering may take different forms, but the heartbreak is the same. The Yellowstone Ranch demands blood, and for generations, the Duttons have paid the price. As Yellowstone inches toward its inevitable conclusion, the truth 1923 revealed remains unchanged. The Duttons' battle never ends. Whether in 1923, the present, or beyond, the family's greatest enemy isn't the outside world, it's the curse of their own name.